I have been given word that they have readied up and the match is underway. So as soon as we see the screens go, we'll start the timer. And there we go. Bentglasstube gets an early lead. See if anyone selects the T-Birds by mistake. Nope. Both players select the Hot Flash. Let's get some game audio in here. Please let me know if the game audio to Larry ratio is sufficient enough. This is, unfortunately, his audio is low, so I can't really capture it that loud. This is the best I can get it. Bentglasstube makes it first to the elevator, followed shortly behind by Joshy D. There is the dumpster. It is not on fire. That's going to probably get to a flaming situation around stage 3-2. Nothing better than a 3-2 dumpster fire, especially on Bentglasstube's side of things. Joshy makes it out first. Although arriving second, he makes his way through the barrels over the pit. Bentglasstube gets tripped up by the guy coming out of the elevator. And at the end of stage 1-1, Joshy gets to the fight first. Throws a couple drop kicks. One misses. Two miss. Hits the super. Bentglasstube is quicker on lining them up for the supers. Gets one of them eaten. Misses on the second one. Only hits one of them. Joshy D does a little bit of a slow but steady strat while Bentglasstube is missing all over the place. He goes to 1-2 first. Lines up the tricky jump. Almost overshoots it, but makes his way to the end of the stage. He'll fight 5 more enemies, a sub-boss, and Ms. Georgia Haas, the boss of the stage. No deaths by either runner right now. I think a lot of people would have lost bets there. Certainly they've come a long way to their pre-tournament days of never completing this run, never completing this game. Joshy D lines 2 of the bad attitude up, punches them both. Gets the double super on the sub-boss, Bernie the Monster Man Jackson, and knocks out Miss Georgia Haas, and he's the first one over to stage 2. And BGT shortly behind there. Joshy spent a little bit of time on the menu. Maybe if BGT mashes the button to select the player, he'll gain a little bit of time. And now we're off to the Stage 2 auto-scroller. Make the jumps that Joshy D did not make. And now, Bentglasstube is back in the lead. That's the second lead change of the night so far. Or visual lead change. Joshy will try it again. Bentglasstube is dispatching the Silver Surfers. I'm so hyped for this match, I can't even get through a sentence without stuttering right now. I'm shaking. I got goosebumps on my arm. I'm sure you guys all do as well. Rhythm punches. Both players with the rhythm punches. I think Joshy's just now mocking BGT by mashing punch. Very unsportsmanlike, but he's turned a leaf. He's done the heel turn. Oh, BGT falls on the third platform jump there near the end of the stage, and he has to go all the way back. So that's lead change number 3. Joshy D is now in the lead. Can he get through this section without taking a hit? I think this is the first time Joshy D is able to do this. Oh, and he's surprised. Oh, and then he gets hit by a barrel. 2 barrels. But he makes the final jump, and he's up to the helicopter. Was that another BGT death? I believe it was. I think I heard that audio sound. Very unfortunate to die on stage 2. He did that one quicker than last time, so not a lot of time lost, but time lost indeed. The death counter is BGT 2, Joshy D 1. The lead counter, though, is also an important stat. If we can add that to the tracker, to my count, it's 3 of them. Joshy D opts to line himself up on the bottom. He's only getting 2 bomb drops one direction, 4 another direction. A lot slower than normal, but he is in the lead, so he's afforded that comfortability. Makes his way over to 3-1. BGT makes the jump he misses last time. Gets tripped up. Taking these hits right here, they don't slow you down. It's an auto-scroller. It's just, if you're going to take a few hits on the boss, they might matter. Ultimately, they never do. The only thing that kills you in this level is jumping, misjumping, and going through a pit. Nice jump punch there by Joshy D. He's taking the path of least resistance. There must be some sort of calculation there in mind. He's done a little math, he's done a little physics, and says that a straight line is not straighter. Let me just make constant W's all over the place. And see if my D-pad is working in every direction. Best way to test a controller. Can't blame Joshy D. He is multitasking right now. Gets to the end of 3-1. Opts not to line up the enemies for supers. He's just going to take the fight right to them. Still has 2 supers left, but he's going to opt for jump kicks. Nails a couple of them, misses one, gets kicked in the face, and then supers them both, and he's on to stage BG 3-2, and this is a pivotal moment in the game. One of our 3 Jack Link's beef jerky all-in moments. In practice, Joshy D did not do this flawlessly. He died multiple times, and I think he even gave up to practice something else just before the race. Let's see what happens here. Bentglasstube is making his way through 3-1. Midway through 3-2, see if Joshy can knock these people into the water, or if he's just going to throw them in the opposite direction and spare their life. He had mercy on that one. Jump kicks him, gets rolled into. Punches that one in the wall, gets rolled into again. This is dangerous because if he takes a few hits on a fire beam later on, he may have little to no health. There's a throw, just misses throwing him into the water. Should have had a V8, would have had a little bit more power to get through that. But he's on the second half of 3-2. Makes the first of the sideways ramp idiot jumps. And here's the second one. BGT wants to test out the water physics and takes his first death on 3-2. Let's see how many we get. Slow but steady, Joshy D makes it through the rest of 3-2 onto the boss fight. Very low on health here. He's got to be careful. Gets 1 super, 2 supers. Now the boss of the stage, John Guruju, will make his way up top. Just got to land some drop kicks and not get hit by that spear. He got hit by twice. And he got hit 3 times, and he's going back. Lead change number 4. BGT is now back in the lead, as Joshy D has to go all the way back. BGT nailing these knee strikes, getting these enemies into the water. The enemies being the Maniac's blonde bomber. Takes a few hits. It gets a little bit slower, but, again, he is in the lead. See how he does on these jumps as Joshy D makes his way back to the midway point. All right, he's got that jump. I think he's better on these jumps now. And he's not lined up correctly, and he drops into the water. Whether he got hit by that sewer or not, no big deal because he was jumping into that water anyway. Lead change number 5. Joshy D back in the lead. Makes his way through the second half now of the stage. Bentglasstube takes another death in the water. And Joshy D just decides, hey, listen, let's have lead change number 6. And he just jumps in the water. Both players getting a virtual spoon right here on skates as they make their way through the same part. Joshy D just a little bit back because he took a drink. Took a splash in the drink. I believe both players are playing with an 8-way controller. That's why it's very hard to move left and right consistently for them. And let's see who gets through this fight first. Joshy D just a little bit behind, but he's knocking people into the water. Bentglasstube just wants to, you know, hang out and chill by the wall. And there you go, lead change number 7. Joshy D is back on top. Just a little bit in front of Bentglasstube now because of the fighting aspect of the game. And Joshy D decides to hit the wall, jump in. Lead change number 8. Bentglasstube is back in the lead. Makes the jump he misses before. He's got to avoid these last 3 fire beams. No more jumps. But he certainly can skate into the water. He has 0 health, basically, for the boss. I don't believe he can stand to get hit by Guru Drew. Let's see what happens. There's 1 super. There's 2 supers. Now we gotta wait for Guru Drew to come back up to the top. He hits a super. There's a drop kick. There's a drop kick. Bosses will never duck drop kicks, so as long as you land them, or you're jumping in their direction, you're hitting them. And BGT makes his way to stage 4 first. As Joshy D is struggling with this fight at the halfway point of stage 3. Stage 4 is another auto-scroller. It features greyhound dogs, some birds, platforming jumps, barrels. I mean, basically everything you experience on a road when you have roller skates on. And Joshy D wall buffers right back into the water, and he's going to have to start all over again. It's very unforgiving running into a wall roller skates. Unrealistic. In real life, if you run into a wall roller skates, you're probably not going to bounce off of it. You'll probably go right through or just stick to the wall. BGT lines up on top. Now he's got to go over these narrow platforms. There's 5 of them in all. Down, up, and mid. 1 more. And he punches the dog in the face. That's not cool. But whatever he wants to do, man. Joshy D becoming an expert with this fight. Let's see if he picked up any new strats. Truck time. Can we get some truck emotes? So the truck throws barrels at you. Just jump over them. And it's a timed event, this one. It's not based on amount of barrels. I do not think you can trigger it to throw more barrels. Joshy D then goes into the water 1 more time. Takes the IRC. He wants to know what's going on with him. I don't think I can help him out. I don't think I can give him any tips or spoilers. That'd be unprofessional of me. My best recommendation would be to jump over stuff and don't run into the wall. And there you go. Bentglasstube is through stage 4. Let's see what he does here with character selection. And he's going to go with Icebox Robert Smith, number 6, from the T-Birds. Slower, more powerful, but the key is in the speed, because in the second part of 5-1, you're going to have to deal with the Cliffs of Insanity. Precise jumps as the ground below you crumbles, and it's easier to do with a slower character because you can continuously skate and jump, where in other characters you have to slow down a little bit and toggle your speed, or throttle your speed. Joshy D is now back at the Joshy D encounter. Gets through it. Let's see what happens here. Let's take a look at his jumps here. He likes to go all the way to the wall and make the jump left to right on your television. Gets tripped up by the fire, but lands on the platform. 1 more jump. He just decides to run into the wall a few times and lose all of his momentum, and then jump into the water 1 more time. Certainly getting his money's worth out of 3-2. Bentglasstube is almost through with 5-1, though. Has to deal with 5 enemies here. Gives him the deep freeze. 1 more. And we're off to the Cliffs of Insanity. Almost short jumps that raft and short jumps that platform. He's going all the way back to 5-1. Unfortunate for him, but fortunate at the same time, because Joshy D cannot get out of 3-2. That certainly could have been a key lead change right there. But it also means Bentglasstube has to go through that area 1 more time. So can Joshy D catch up? All right, we're going to the second half of 3-2 now. Let's get that jump. Skates right over the edge into the water. It's almost like the physics of the game have ice attached to them. Roller skating on ice. Joshy D's breaking out a new controller. Very good strategy there. I often blame the controller as well. As anybody who's a fan of my work knows, my controller randomly goes left every once in a while, even when holding right. New controller doesn't work, but you need to break it in. Joshy D will do that on a new set of lives after he game's over. Free guy for BGT. That means one more attempt at the Cliffs of Insanity before that dreaded frame loss on the character selection screen and continue screen. Implements the deep freeze. And here we go, Cliffs of Insanity attempt number 2. A little better on the jumping right there. He's a little bit further than he needs to be, but he manages it. And he's on to 5-2. No more cliffs. He's going to take the intentional death. That's where the 1-up kind of betrayed him there, because he's going to lose some frames, killing off that extra life. And he's right back to the hot flash. Number 1, Sly Fox Vicky McEwen. Joshy D owning stock in this battle on 3-2. Claiming what's rightfully his, and that is the moniker of Joshy 3-2. See what he decides to do here. Gets tripped up by the fire, lands. Goes a little bit slower. One more jump there, Joshy. And there you go. He's back at the boss battle for the first time since I think maybe the first or second time he attempted this stage. It's been a while. Let's see how he handles it. Precise raft jumping on BGT's side of things as well. Handling this stage by like a pro, but then he decides to move around on the raft instead of letting all momentum die. And has to do it all over again. Joshy D is now done with stage 3. He's not out of it by a long shot, folks. 5-2 is very tricky. 6-2 and 6-2 is very tricky. And the boss fight, BGT has been known to have trouble with. So let's see what happens. BGT almost back to the spot where he took the death before. And he doesn't even get there before he takes another death. All right. Restarting 5-2. Takes a hit on the first barrel. That's for good luck. Sets up his jump over the second barrel. Oh, and Joshy D dies the same way that BGT died the first time. He just misses the jump. As BGT just skates in the water. And again, 8-way controllers. These players are going to have a very hard time staying in cardinal, ordinal directions. One of those words is right. So I said them both. When you have to go north-south, it's very hard to not want to press west-west-south. Especially in a race situation, both these players are very nervous right now. Highly anticipated matches, about 360 people watching. And we are broadcasting to at least 21 countries, including Sweden, as Sweden watches BGT jump in the water one more time. BGT going with a new strat, deciding to jump over all the barrels. See what happens here. All right, Joshy's back to the motorcycles. BGT is back to the rafts. Can I get some raft and fish emotes in chat, please? Official death counter has Joshy at 12, BGT at 9. It's certainly not that big of a stretch. But having most of those 12 deaths in one stage is where the difference lies right now. Scrolling the screen, getting the raft to show up, and missing the jump. Hard momentum there. You got to go very close to the edge to get that raft to show up. And then you have to skate a little bit to get momentum to jump on it. Most players feel like they don't have enough space to do it, but you do have a little bit of space before you skate into the water. All right, Joshy D doesn't know how to handle these things normally, so he just tanks them. And it's that time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the truck. Here come the truck. There it is. Joshy D avoids it. Nice job. Jump the barrels. If you do have full health here, you can just kind of stand in the bottom right-hand corner and just not care. Make fake hand, cool guy hand gestures to the camera or whatever you want to do. BGT's on one raft. He's going to jump over to the other. And he just decides he wants to just do a standing jump. And unfortunately, the raft underneath him moved, and he fell into the water. So he'll try it one more time. Again, opting to jump over the first barrel. And there you go. Truck is defeated. Joshy D is moving on to grab a Lunchables. He's opening it up. He's putting a little bit piece of ham on a cracker. Cheese, and then like a little red stick on for the cheese to kind of apply it on the cracker at the same time. Very good. Next tournament, we're going to award bonus points for that. He does switch over to the rockers on stage 5. It counters the T-Birds for BGT. Too bad neither of these players, they did not enter 5-1 at the same time, so we can see the speed difference. May not matter, because BGT better not look back, because Joshy D's on the way. Gunning for his ribs to pull out of his rib cage and beat him with it. And then there was some talk of urine in IRC, whatever, but I'm not going to mention that. Even up on deaths, 14 apiece. Make that 15 for BGT. Lead counter's still at 8, and Joshy D, he's starting the engine. Here comes the bulldozer. He's warming it up. He's about to bulldoze BGT, and BGT doesn't even know it. He better go, man. Bulldozer's coming. Do we have bulldozer emotes? Somebody find those. Eon will probably find those. Oh, that one dude who's always spamming Power Ranger emotes. Okay, Joshy D gets a knee strike in. BGT falls one more time. 14 deaths. Actually, 16 deaths. All right, Cliffs of Insanity time for Joshy D. 23rd minute mark, if you're a soccer fan. It's death number 17. And he overshoots it, so he's going to have to go all the way back to 5-1. Started jumping a little bit too late, and it's hard to regain. Nice of BGT right there to kind of hang out for wait for Joshy D. Kind of like those dudes on Team Ninja Warrior. They miss the warp wall, and they just stand there and let the other guy go first instead of going back up it. Very competitive, sportsmanlike stuff. All right, the rafts. BG 5-2 makes his way over to the first one. Lines himself up, gives himself a little bit of space. Inches down. And there's the raft. You gotta get a little bit of momentum. Monkey toes it to land on the edge of that cliff. At the edge of that raft. And then really doesn't take advantage of the moment, the space he has to get momentum onto the second raft. BGT claiming he's going to break his controller in half. I don't think he'll do it. And Cliffs of Insanity time. They cost 1 death apiece so far. See how Joshy does this one. See that the unfortunate strategy in this is you pick a slower person so you can just keep going. And both players were trying to throttle their momentum here and there to make the jumps. When they picked a character that can pretty much just go without needing to release the D-pad. So that's a second death for Joshy on the cliffs. Giving BGT plenty of time to win this race. But BGT just wants to show off his skills in the first half of this 5-2, so he hasn't turned it on yet. It's not go time yet for him. He's toying with Joshy D. But again, the keys are in that bulldozer. It's coming. The Joshy Deer bulldozer. Do they make bulldozers? I know Caterpillar does, but I can't get a fun acronym for that. Oh, Bentglasstube wanted to fall off the edge of that raft. Then he wanted to push in the other direction and fall off the other edge of the raft. Manages to save it. And gets to the end of 5-2. He's going to have to defeat 5 enemies here. And then the boss, the Violator's manager, Skull. Cliffs of Insanity time. Attempt number 3 for Joshy D. So to recap of how momentum works in this game is if you're skating left to right as Joshy D makes his way over, and he's now on 5-2. They're on the same stage for the first time in a long time. He needs to get through this one quick, and he has definitely a really good chance to win. Momentum in this game works by if you're skating left to right and you let go of the D-pad, you will slow down and eventually stop, and it's pretty quick. It's not instant, but it's not a long time either. But if you want to counter that and push in the other direction, if you're moving left and right, you'll do a semicircle down on the screen. And if you're moving right to left, you'll do a semicircle up. So when you're on the cliffs and you want to push in the opposite direction of where you're skating, you'll actually skate off the platform. And you can see that on the rafts as well. If you're trying to stop your momentum, you will semicircle in one direction and just skate clearly off the raft. Stage 5 has been handled by BGT. Now he makes his way into this maze-like 6-1. And Joshy D just takes a drink. Again, very hard to just skate in 4 directions when you're using an 8-way controller. Pressing up and down is very hard. To both players' credits, though, they have not dropped a single frame on their broadcast. Joshy D skates into the water. Second half of 6-1 here. Second half of 6-1 is all about just not taking enough damage, a lot of damage. There are a couple areas where you'll get hit no matter what. A couple areas where you won't get hit if you despawn something, but still it manages to happen. BGT wants to go for the strat where everything punches him. He's going the wrong direction. He realizes that. And one more enemy to deal with. He just has no health. Oh, he got punched right at the door, and he has to start 6-1 over again. Joshy D is working his way towards the raft, trying hard not to skate off the edge. Now he's going really slow. Once again, can I get some fish emotes in chat and raft emotes in chat, please? Jumps on the first raft. Don't worry about that part of the raft that's disappearing. That's not a hole. You won't fall in it. No momentum on that jump. So Joshy D goes right in the water. All right, BGT needs to take a little less hits here on 6-1 to survive. He punches that guy, but then goes right into the thing. He's going the wrong way. He realizes it now. He'll go down, punching more guys. I think he's trying to farm for a 1-up, which is not bad strategy right now. With 6-2 coming up. It gets stuck on the wall. It's kind of hard to get around that wall. You have to go where the wall isn't. And then you can freely skate. And he makes his way in. Here's 6-2. I'm sorry, Dig 6-2. I forgot the joke already. 6-2 shake. Makes the big jump over the conveyor belts. Makes the second big jump over the conveyor belts. And he's on a six enemy fight with a rehashed mini-boss refight. Misses a ton of drop kicks and gets kicked in the face. You also don't want to take a lot of damage here because there's probably at least 2 fire bars that are going to get you. And you will take a death, and you will have to start this whole level over. BGT is in that situation. I think he can only get hit by 1 fire bar, maybe none, and definitely none now as he gets drop kicked right in the face. Little known fact, the enemies of this game replace the stopper on the front of their quad skates with a spike. So if they kick you, it hurts. And Joshy D is going to attempt the rafts one more time. Don't know if he's watching the restream or keeping tabs on Bentglasstube, but certainly should know he has enough. He has a chance here. All right, there's the sub-boss coming back. All right, BGT's lining up the jumps here. And he skates a little bit too far, and he has to do it all over again. Joshy D also skates a little bit too far and winds up in the water. Did not think BGT lined that up correctly, but luckily there was a little bit of a conveyor belt there for him to land on. And he makes his way back to the fight. Had good dropkick luck and lost it and then regained it. Now he's just jumping around like it's Easter. Joshy D gets up. I think he's going to Walmart. Maybe getting some of those great value knockoff Samoa cookies like the Girl Scouts. Oh no, he grabs the third controller. And he's about to plug it in. Oh, bad place to take a hit there. BGT recovers. He is taking quite a few hits in places you normally don't. Oh, get back on there. The door's on the next ledge. And he's in. 6-3. Very short level. Jump a couple barrels, jump a couple spikes. Oh, he avoids the barrel. That's fine. This is the one you normally get hit on. And get hit and slide right back down on the spikes. We've all been there in real life. Joshy T did switch back to the hot flash. Thank you for that. He did try it with the rockers once he left the cliffs. And, oh, I thought BGT did not make the long jump there. He actually did. Looked like he jumped a little bit too soon. Game had a little sympathy for him. And he's on 6-4. He just decides, you know what? I'm not ready to beat this game yet. I'm going to drop off the bottom. That's a little showman, little bad sportsmanship right there. Mocking his opponent. Saying, I can die on 6-4, dude. He didn't like the pattern, obviously. So he wanted to reset it. Oh, Joshy D. I felt like Joshy D had that jump. Game disagrees. I was going for to get hit by the first barrel strats. BGT dispatches the 6 enemies as Joshy D once again decides to skate into the water. And it's boss time. The Diaper Genie. BGT gets 1 super, 2 supers, 3 supers. He's actually better at this fight than the first time when it took him 50 minutes of punching him in the face to eventually realize you don't punch him in the face. Now he's waiting for him to jump so he can jump kick him from behind. Seasoned veteran of this fight, by the way, it seems. Looks like all his practice went here instead of 5-2. Pretty good boss fight so far. Just decides to get hit there. There's another kick, and we have a boss down, and we have an official time of 35 minutes, 21 seconds for BGT. Joshy D just getting the news of the defeat. See if we can get Bentglasstube on here. Looks like he joined us now. Hey, BGT, how you doing? GG, man.
Thanks. Doing pretty well. Yourself?
I'm doing pretty well.
Hey, BGT, how you doing?
Hey, is that me? That's me. Thanks. This time. I recognize the errors of my ways when I hear the echo that I have to mute your stream and it's not on you, so I'll stop yelling at you for that. Congratulations. Yeah. Take us through that run, man.
Using my game audio, I guess.
Yeah.
That run went okay. 3-2 went pretty smoothly. Just a few stupid deaths there. Until Raft, though. Raft was just not going well. I kept dying, and not even to the hard jump, you know? Like, I kept dying to the easy parts.
Looked like you had a problem going in straight directions. Do you have a problem moving at all? A little controller problem?
My controller seems to be a little oversensitive. Like, I don't know, it constantly thinks I'm trying to do diagonals when I don't want it to. But I don't know if it's my controller or if it's just my fingers are fat and, you know, I'm pressing too many buttons.
Well, that's a really good boss fight. Did you practice that boss fight?
Nope. Last time I fought the boss was against Buzz, and before that was my other race against Link. Since the race, or since I started the tournament races, I have not finished a run that wasn't a tournament run.
So really, you're just saying, you're mocking all your opponents right now by saying, hey, listen, I'm as good as I'm going to get. Beat me or don't.
Yeah, that's... I kind of went into the tournament with that attitude.
What was that talk about urine in IRC? I was trying to get ready for the race broadcast, and I look up and I noticed all this urine talk.
I believe Joshy D is going to pee on me now that the race is over. Although with him being a little bit tilted at the moment, I don't know if he will.
Well,
I guess we'll have to find out.
We've all peed sideways before. Will you adjust and move to the side if that happens?
I'll probably accidentally move diagonally, honestly, and, you know, fall in the water or something.
I tell you what, with your struggles on 5-2, Joshy D was having a lot of struggles on 3-2. I don't know if you were watching side by side. It kind of felt like you were.
Yeah, I had your stream up and muted so that I could glance over every once in a while, but I wasn't watching too closely. Just when he was chatting in IRC, I would look over to see what was going on.
He had the keys in the bulldozer, and once he finished 3-2, he was on the way. Unfortunately, by the time he got to 5-2, that's when you decided you were going to fight the boss of 5-2, and you did it in one cycle and got out of there. But right at that point in time, he made huge gains to get back to where you were. I think at one time, at one time he had about 8 more deaths than you total, all on 3-2. And then by the time he got up to you, both you had 19 deaths to his 16, and he was right there on the same stage with you, and then you managed to get through it.
I saw chat was keeping track of lead swaps, and I think Buzz was counting deaths early on. That might have become too much trouble, because I die a lot in this game. Yeah,
once you went through 5-2, I think we stopped counting deaths, but there was 8 lead changes, a couple of them happening with you in the lead, and Joshy D just doing better fights and then pulling ahead of you on that, like the first half of 1-1.
Yeah, I really had bad fights early on, and like I like just kept missing. I think I died in the maze stage because my fight was so bad.
Yes, you did
And then,
die in the
like,
main stage. Everybody
just,
punched you.
done stuff. Yeah, punched by every single guy.
Yeah, and you even died
And,
on
I always forget
6-2.
which helps.
What was that? Sorry?
Which doesn't help. I always forget which way to go in the maze.
Well,
like 3 times.
we thought you were farming for an extra guy.
Oh, nice. I forgot about the 1-ups. I did get a 1-up on Fatty, which was unfortunate since I didn't want it, but
Yeah, you had to die one more time. And yeah. So now you're 1-2. You are mathematically eliminated to reset the Eastern Empire division. Link Sevens is 2-0. Buzz Thunder is 2-1. You are 1-2, and Joshy D is 0-2. 1 game left in this division, yet to be scheduled. Link Sevens versus Joshy D. You are headed. What's your mindset heading into the losers bracket?
I don't know if I have much of a mindset.
Let me give you one. Remember yesterday when Dig Shake said that you and Joshy D were the 2 worst people and are going to play in the losers bracket?
I do
finals?
remember hearing about this.
Yeah. So how unfortunate would it be if the 0-1 Dig Shake actually got into the losers bracket? How much would you practice? Would you take your approach into practicing any differently if you were scheduled to face him?
I might talk some more smack, try and keep it PG here, but I don't know if that I would actually practice that much more. This game, I don't hate this game as much as I did before I was able to beat it, but I still don't think that I'm particularly fond of it.
Is there any truth that you were absolutely triggered that in testing a new seed for Zelda 2 randomizer, that the glove was actually in 5 and you never bothered to look there?
I wasn't triggered by that because I dug Death Mountain and found a 1-up, and that was the end of my run.
You cut out there. I'm just going to assume you said yes. So we can move on to the next question. Out of the people in the Western bracket, and to reset that, Coach Crab is 1-0. Choke Me I Like It is 1-1. Dig Shake is 0-1. And Angry Larry is 0-0. Which 2 competitors would you like to see fall down into the losers bracket just so you can humble them?
I don't know if I want to see anyone fall down into the losers bracket, but with Dig talking all this noise, it would be fitting for him to show up there. But I don't know Coach or Choke too well.
Is Dig Shake the new Buzz Thunder?
I mean, I don't know if we should just give that title away just yet, but he's making a run for it.
He is. I mean, there's no talk of urinating on you, but he's kind of. There's a little humor in that, though, and then the things he's saying about you being eventually making the losers matchup. By the way, you have a win. He doesn't. Can we point that out?
We'll have to make sure we point that out if we see him around later.
Absolutely. So thanks for joining us, and I don't know if Joshy's coming in right now. He's turned off his stream, and I don't know if he got my message. He might have been out of his chat by then.
Yeah, I don't think he was having a very good time with the game today.
No, and it's it's unfortunate. I've been there. I've tried to practice this game a couple nights in a row, and I don't even want to touch it anymore because I can't get past the first pothole in 1-1. But we can reset the upcoming matchups. We have Dig Shake versus Coach Crab tomorrow night, 11:30 Eastern time p.m. I said that backwards intentionally. I'm going to make that my new thing. And then Angry Larry and Choke Me I Like It on Thursday night, Friday night / Thursday morning, depending on the coast. 12:30 a.m. start. That could quite possibly be a double or triple header.
Are you going to play all your games in a row?
I may play all my games at the same time with the same controller.
One time for all.
One time. Just line them all up. We'll have a 4-way box on screen, and whatever I do, it counts towards every other person. Well, just a fatal 4-way. And just get it over with.
That sounds incredible.
Unless I lose, and then I'll rematch. But yeah, any parting words here? Anything anything you want to plug or anybody you want to make fun of?
No, just thanks for doing the restream and commentary. I look forward to watching it, and good luck on your upcoming races. And I'm sure I'll see you in some other races later on.
Oh, so you're saying I'm going in the loser's bracket?
No, I mean some other races of other games.
Oh, I
not
see.
This.
That's a good save. All right, BGT, thank you very much. And thanks everyone else for hanging out and watching this Roller Games restream. Let me just make sure I didn't cut off Joshy D. No, it does not look like he joined us. Thanks for joining us. Again, tomorrow we have Coach Crab versus Dig Shake. The 1-0 Coach Crab versus the 0-1 Dig Shake. 5/16 is the date, not the time. 11:30. I'm sorry, I was juggling through a lot of tabs right there. 11:30 a.m. Eastern. 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Yeah. Trying to count on my fingers right now. Yeah, 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. Sorry, I'm the a.m. guy. So let's do this again so I don't confuse people. Tuesday night, 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. Dig Shake versus Coach Crab. And then Angry Larry versus Choke Me I Like It. 12:30 a.m. Friday morning. But Thursday night for everyone else. And then you can catch all the action and all the practice for all the runners right about here. And then check out the tournament. Brackets, recaps, standings, divisions. Can't type and talk, can't talk and type tournament at the same time. It's still not happening. There it is. Not really. Still messed it up. Let's go. Tournaments. There we go. Nope. Somebody please link that in chat because I'm having a lot of problems. My hands are shaking because of all the lead changes in this match. There you go. Buzz Thunder comes through. I can't even see what it was because it's so small on the screen. But thank you for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time tomorrow night for more seasonal hardcore invitational tournament action with Roller Games. Have a good night.